Hi friends, in this video I'm going to explain about X Windows in Linux system, and I will also be explaining the steps to connect to remote X applications that are running in the Linux to the local host systems. Okay, we'll move on to X Windows introduction part. So, what is X Windows? X Windows provides a basic framework for a GUI in the distributed network environment. So, basically, what it means is X Windows is the way the graphical user interface is being implemented in Linux. So, unlike other operating systems, here the GUI, the graphical user interface, is implemented in client and server environment. The server that runs on the local machine, unlike other systems, the server is the one that will run on the local machine that provides the services of the input devices and the output devices. Input devices, in our case, it's the keyboard and mouse, and we have, in the case of output, we have the monitor or the display that we have. So these are the services this server would be offering to the clients that are running on the remote side. Apart from that, X Windows also has got some other components. Those are X server we already seen, X client, and window manager component. Okay, so let's quickly see all of these components. So see, there's a two blocks that are given here. The X clients can reside within the same box where the X server runs. That is where most of our Linux operating system that we have running in the laptops has. So that's the environment that we have, both client and server running on the same system. So these graphical user interface works seamlessly. We can also have this graphical user interface or the clients that can be run on a remote side, and we can use a server to bring in the display part for those clients. So that is also possible. So look at the diagram here. So X server is the one that gives the services of the input and the output devices. Input, it captures the input from the input hardware and passes it to the client application that requested it, and receives the inputs from the client application and displays the output under the guidance from window manager. So window manager is another component which manages the geometry, appearance, coordinates, and graphical properties of X displays. And X client is the one that runs at the remote side, which has the has the capability to talk X protocol, and has the capability to communicate with the X server to display the contents from its applications. Okay, let's see another concept which is called X11 forwarding, which is an XSH protocol that enables users to run the graphical application on a remote server and interact with them using their local display and IO devices. So look at the diagram here. So we have X client that is running on our remote side. In our case, the demo that I'm going to give, the X client is going to be on the VM, and the X server that I'm going to run it on my Windows laptop, and I will be having the X client to use my Windows laptop's monitor and the keyboard to make the input uh, given through my keyboard and my monitor being used by the remote X client. Okay, so let's see the steps, detailed diagram here. So look at the diagram here. So on the remote side, that is on my VM side, I have my SSH server which is going to be running, and I have there are multiple applications. We can take an example of XCALC or XClock or XEdit. So the multiple X based applications which are capable of displaying their content or the display onto a remote display. So those applications are running over there. In the X server or the SSH server, we will have to make a configuration to have the output to be forwarded to another display. So that's what you are seeing, a series of tubes. So that is actually going to the SSH client, which is running on my local system, that is on my Windows, and wherein I am running my X server too. So X server is having the display, so control of the display and the input. So the X client, which is running on the remote side, will make use of the display and the keyboard from the local system. Okay, let us quickly see the steps now. Okay, first step is to run a X server in our Windows system. So you will have to go to the Google and then download a server called Xming server. I have already downloaded in my server, that is Xming. It will look like this. So have it run as administrator, make it run as an administrator. Once you install, you have this Xming server in your Windows, so run it as an administrator, and you can see the Xming is running at the bottom here. You can see Xming server 0.0 is running in my Windows laptop. So the next step is actually you have to go to the SSH server and make a configuration, and for that I will go to my Windows, I'm going to my Linux, and I'm going to make the configuration changes. Sudo vim etc sshd minus underscore config. So look for X11 forwarding, so which is already there. X11 forwarding is here, and I made it yes. If it is no, it will not work, so make it yes. So that's the second step that we have. And third step is run the PuTTY client by enabling the X11 forwarding. Run the PuTTY client, go to the SSH and X11 tab, and then enable X11 forwarding on the PuTTY client, SSH client. So click open. Okay, I will now run my PuTTY client with the X11 forwarding enabled. I've already restarted the SSH service in my system. I can restart my SSH as well again. Okay, I've connected to my SSH client now, and my PuTTY client is now running, which is having the X applications in my Linux. Okay, so I'm going to take few examples now. Xclock is one of the, I'm going to run it in the background. So right here you see the clock display is appearing over here in my Windows, and I can also use X. This is my calculator application. This is another X application which is running in my X client in the Linux, which is using the services of my local Windows's monitor and the keyboard. Okay, so likewise you can use anything, and I'm going to stop this. And further to this, you can also run the complete desktop environment in your Windows. So you can also run the complete desktop environment of your Linux right onto your Windows. So for that you may have to install a desktop environment. So desktop environment is a collection of software components that provide the graphical user interface for Linux operating system. So the command to install the desktop environment is sudo apt install kde-standard. In this case, I have used the KDE Plasma desktop environment. I have installed it in my system already. I'm not going to install it again. And after doing that, so I can show how to install it. Sudo apt install kde standard. I've already installed. It's not going to install it again. So now I have my X11 forwarding enabled X client, SSH client running in my Windows. So now I can give start plasma -X11. So this is going to start my desktop environment of the Linux right onto my Windows screen. So you can see the Windows screen is being taken over by the Linux desktop environment, and my KDE Plasma is getting loaded. So this is the complete Linux setup is being taken over, and it is using my Windows monitor and the keyboard to bring or to launch its desktop environment. It's going to take a while. It's taking some time, and it is almost there. Yeah, so I have logged into my system. So this is my Linux GUI, which is being shown in my Windows display using the X11 forwarding method. So that's what is the way we can use remotely running X client applications onto our local system. So since I have used both a VM and the Windows host, we're not able to appreciate the advantage of it. But in case if you have this X clients running in a different site, and we can definitely, these concept would be definitely of good use. Okay guys, so that's all I have for this video. Thank you very much for watching this. If you like this video, give it a like and share and subscribe. Thank you.